And we're back. Happy New Year, everybody. So, we're going to do a quick recap of every single game for week 17, just, the ones that really matter. Those are the ones that we're going to go deep into. Then we're going to make our predictions for the final week of the NFL and which teams we think are going to make the 2025 playoffs. Let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right. Chuck Dominguez, Happy New Year, you filthy animals. How's it going?
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And happy playoff
Ooh, dude. That's how we starting? We starting today with violence? Jesus Christ,
starting
man.
with the truth.
Anyway, so there's a bunch of stuff that we need to go through. And just to clarify, I finally added up all the numbers on the website and on our Pick'em stuff, on our Pick'em League. We will go through them before we make our predictions, just so, everybody who's wondering, Gus specifically. But yeah, it's funny. Just when we decided to split this show into 2 podcasts a week, I forgot that Christmas and New Year's was coming up. So sorry, that was my bad.
The season was ending.
Yeah, that was my bad. I apologize. It
was your bad.
Yeah, I also, planned a road trip right on the Monday than we usually record. It was mea culpa. I apologize.
Smart.
Yeah, but let's get into it a little bit. Let's get into. Oh wait, whoops, I forgot. There you go. So let's get into a quick recap of Week 17. That feels like it was like a lifetime ago, and by that if you remember, the first game of the week was on Christmas, and it was the Chiefs visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers and just totally kicking their ass 29-10. This was an ass whooping. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers have not looked this bad in I think the whole season, and the Chiefs have not looked this good the entire season. So the Chiefs clinched the number 1 seed in the AFC. They're basically resting all their starters this week. They finally started, their offense started to look good, and their defense looked just as good as it did the entire season. So I'm officially concerned. I'm officially concerned about the Chiefs, and so I'm hoping that it's just that the Texans and the Steelers are imploding, and not that they actually got their shit together, but we'll see.
I am going to pick the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah. Lucky you. All right. So Chuck says he was too drunk to remember. You know what? Because it happened so long ago, and it happened last year, of course. So let's move on to probably the most embarrassing loss. Actually, no, there was another one that was worse. But the Ravens just shellacking the hell out of the Texans. The Texans only scoring 2 points on a safety on Derrick Henry. So that was brutal. That was painful. And this is supposed to be a playoff team. If I'm a Texans fan, I'm officially concerned. Because the Ravens, don't get me wrong, they're really good. They're an elite team. But to not be able to score like a field goal on them is really bad for you. So hopefully, you've had a long week. You've had time to recover. You had a mini bye. Maybe you get your shit together. But this is not the way you want to enter the playoffs. Like both the Steelers and the Texans right now feel like a one and done team. Definitely.
Which is good news.
Of course. Next, Thursday night football. What's up?
It just seems like ever since they lost their main wide receiver core, apparently that's where their offense ran through.
I mean, Diggs, they lost him very early in the season.
But then they lost Tank last week.
Yeah, I think since Tank Dell went down, that's really been the killer. But, we'll see. Next, Thursday night football, probably the most boring game of the entire week. The Seahawks beating the Bears barely, 6-3.
What's fucking wrong with Thursday night football?
I have no idea. There was like 3 good Thursday night football games the entire season. I don't know what the fuck's wrong. And one of them got flexed. All right. So the Broncos Chargers got flexed into it. And that's one of the 3 good ones. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but whatever. Seahawks win. Both of these teams are out, so who the fuck cares? However, in spite of winning, the Seahawks were officially eliminated, which sucks. Can you imagine that? Winning your game and then still being like, hey, congratulations, you're out of it. I know it looked like you had a chance, but nah. Later. Deuces.
I mean, that's probably going to happen to the Bengals, if we're being real.
Yeah, we'll see. Next, we have the Chargers beating the ever-living hell out of the Patriots. And this one I will talk about a little bit because I want to talk about the return of my boy, J.K. Dobbins. Boy, look good. We missed him. 19 runs, 76 yards, 1 TD, 83 total yards, which doesn't sound like much. However, since J.K. Dobbins has returned this week, the Chargers had 147 total rushing yards. So the running game came back because it goes through J.K. Also, J.K. pretty good at blocking. So, extra spark that was needed. The Chargers had 428 yards of offense, and it started with a run game, you know? Because it's, to me, the biggest run of the game probably was on a 3-2 where the defense had J.K. dead to rights in the backfield. And he was able to bounce back, regain his balance, and ran for the first down. And you're like, that's what JK brings. That's what he brings. Running on the outside, all that stuff, hard to bring down. So clearly the guy was missed. He good. All right. And so getting healthy at the right time, maybe. The Patriots sucking, maybe. Who knows?
Definitely.
But it was good to watch. Also,
it was great to watch, and it seems like we're starting to get hot at the right time.
Yep, hot at the right time, exactly. And we also had a historic day. Ladd McConkey, this man right here, broke Keenan Allen's rookie wide receiver for record for most receptions and most receiving yards by a Chargers rookie wide receiver. He had 8 receptions. What?
Isn't it any?
I don't know. I think it's just the Chargers. He had 8 receptions, 94 yards for 2 TDs. For the year, he currently has 77 receptions, 1,054 yards. And I love it that it came on week 17. So there's no asterisk of it happening with an extra game. Nah. Kid did it, and he missed the game against the Chiefs. So he did it in 16 games. So actually 15 games. So good on him. Yeah. I love that, as the season's progressing, my prediction came true. It's clear that Ladd McConkey is the number 1 wide receiver on this team. It's clear that J.K. Dobbins is the number 1 running back on this team. They're both getting a little bit healthier. I think he injured a toe or something, but he doesn't really have to play on week 18 against the Ravens. They can just sit him. So
he's got 9 other toes.
Sure. And on the other hand, also I think Justin Herbert broke Peyton Manning's record for most receptions or yards in the first 5 years of your career. I forget which one, but he also broke another record. So it's a historic day for both Herbert and McConkey. So all good. All was great. The team looked great. Overall, they looked buttoned up. They looked ready. On the other hand, the Patriots, they sucked.
Drake did a great job tanking.
Listen,
awesome job.
No,
I think they're the number 1 overall.
No, yes, they're not the number 1 overall, but this is not how you tank. You remember the Chargers last year when they were tanking, where they kept it close but still lost? Respectable. Sure. This was not respectable. This is people need to get fired. I'd never seen the Patriots this bad. Chuck Dominguez saying that man, after Tom left the Patriots, they just went downhill. Imagine being the most feared team in the NFL and losing against the Chargers that badly. So it's one of.
I deny they went fucking downhill.
Oh, dude, they are rolling downhill. It's very concerning. I don't know if Gerard Mayo is getting fired, but the fans were screaming. They were yelling for Bravel. So that's not a good sign. The culture there, everything looks terrible. And they have what looks like to be a good starting QB now. So, yeah, things are not looking good over there. That's all I'm saying. I would make a change. Anyway, point is, Chargers officially clinched a playoff spot. We'll see if they actually have anything to play for this Sunday. But let's move on. Bengals versus Broncos. The Bengals managed to squeak out a victory, 30-24, and it looked like neither of these teams wanted to win because just very terrible clock management at the end of the game, which is something that happens with Zach Taylor, and why I think this man should be replaced. I don't think he's... It really annoys me when head coaches are known for being bad at clock management, because that's your job, all right? When you're in the game, that's your job. That's knowing when to throw a challenge flag, knowing when to go for it on 4th down, knowing when to take timeouts. That's your job. If you fuck that up...
We pay you for.
If you fuck that up, it's a problem. So, as I've always stated, if I know when you're supposed to do something, you're an idiot, okay? If I know when is the right point to do something, and I do not know shit about football, you're in
Really
fucking
does
trouble.
not.
You're not doing something right. And by the way, I just won the Super Bowl for our fantasy football, so I guess I know a little bit about football. Back-to-back champion. Hell's freaking yeah.
Do you remember our little caveat from last week, though?
What was the caveat?
If I made more points than you in fantasy.
Oh, did you?
I did.
How
I
many?
I actually tied with our other brother.
Really?
142.
Ah, damn. Good on you. And what was the bet? What was the thing?
I get a point.
You know what? I'll give you that point. I'll give you that point. Congratulations.
And the caveat was also if I didn't get more points than you, then nothing happened.
Sure. Whatever.
You remember now?
I'm so many points up. Let's see. Fuck, bro. A lot of mistake on our part. Hopefully next season Denver is more dominant. Listen, it's still rebuilding. You're still kind of in cap hell. It shows promise. I mean, there's things that are concerning for sure. Bo Nix, he's a rookie, but he does appear to be limited in certain ways. Now, that doesn't mean he can't take you to the promised land. It just means he's not Joe fucking Burrow, right? Joe Burrow is a special freaking talent. He looks like a special freaking talent, even with Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert on the field, okay? So, if he plays a good game, like, it's... Bo Nix is good enough on a system that he could take you to a championship. Like, we've seen freaking Brock Purdy take you to the Super Bowl. All right, we've seen Nick Foles win a Super Bowl.
It might not even be a system thing. I mean, it is his rookie year, and he's looked good.
The thing is, you look at Jaden Daniels, you look at Drake May, you look at Bo Nix. There's a talent discrepancy. All right, it's not just between the years. There's a gap. Now, you can make up for it with the stuff between the years. Making smart decisions, making right plays at the right time, reading defenses better and all that stuff. But I don't expect Bo Nix to throw a 60-yard dime. Like, he could, maybe. But
in terms of if you're making the raw talent argument, then yeah, I wouldn't put him in that top tier. But, I mean, it's his rookie year. And if one thing we've seen... For example, with Minnesota, is that Sam Darnold, who the fuck was he a year ago, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and
dude's in the perfect situation.
Guys, a conversation for fucking MVP now, at least.
Yeah. Dude's in the perfect situation. He's got Sean Payton, let's say an offensive guru, coaching him. And Sean Payton likes to run the ball, and he likes having a good defense. So that's a great situation for Bo Nix. All Bo Nix has to do is not fuck up. However, we do not expect Bo Nix to carry a team, at least not right now. Maybe in the future he will, but right now we don't expect him to carry him. We expect him kind of just to make things work. Let's see.
And we got Chuck saying, if I'm honest, Joe is a lot better than Mahomes, but I think Joe needs better weapons. I think Joe has pretty damn good weapons. He's a good head coach.
Yeah, Joe Burrow has probably...
And they need a defense.
He needs a defense. As I've said many times before, you can win without an offense. You can't win without a defense. That's been proven more times than not. And
you got Jamar Chase and Higgins.
That's what I was going to say.
Dude.
Probably one of the best wide receiver duos in the league. Like, you have Godwin and Evans, but Godwin's injured. You got Jefferson and Addison. other than that, I don't think anybody else is even in the conversation for wide receiving duo of that quality. So it's not a weapons issue, it's a head coach issue. It's a culture issue. There's a problem clearly in freaking Bengal land, and that's that they start in a hole every single season. I don't know, the team's not ready to go, the offense not, I don't understand what the fuck's happening, but there's clearly something wrong.
The offense hasn't been the main issue this season. Like their games have been pretty damn close for the most part.
It's the defense. And also Mahomes would kill to have the weapons that Joe Burrow has right now. Like
knowing their luck, they'll have him next season.
Dude, we saw Mahomes last season. He didn't really he had Ladarius Toney who dropped more passes than he caught. So anyway, point is Broncos, all they had to do was win a game to be in, and now it's coming down to a date with the Chiefs, which we'll get to in a minute. Next, we have the Cardinals losing to the LA Rams 9-13 on a boring ass game. However, with that, the Rams clinched their playoff spot and, effectively eliminated the Seahawks, which I'm sure is great for them. Next, we had the Jets getting their asses handed to them by the Bills. Embarrassed. Aaron Rodgers needed one touchdown to reach the 500 club, and he couldn't do it. He effectively benched himself, which was really bad. So listen, I get it. You could tell that the Jets weren't playing to win, but still, God, getting your ass handed to you that bad? Like, you know what?
That building is
toxic.
A fucking mess, dude.
It's toxic. It's the most toxic building in the NFL, probably. At least in the AFC. Next, we have
they don't even play in New York.
Yeah. Next, we have the Raiders fucking up their draft pick.
Fucking love the Raiders.
It's just so stupid. Beating the
They're
Saints.
like, we got Brock Bowers in like the 9th round, so maybe we'll get lucky again.
Dude, they need
is that what it is?
No, Brock Bowers. I think they got him in you mean the 9th pick? I think he was
the 9th pick. That's what I meant.
The Raiders need a QB. Like AOC is serviceable as a backup. Again, not going to carry a team. Also, you probably need a better head coach. So, listen, I'm happy. I'm happy that the Raiders won. They just
What's the argument? Are they trying to go for a veteran QB?
Dude, I don't know. They wanted Shadir Sanders or something. Prime Coach Prime's son, and so there was all this talk about, oh yeah, they're gonna hire Coach Prime and they're gonna draft Shadir Sanders and all that stuff, and they'll be together. And now they fucked that up. So it's classic Raiders. They just fuck shit up. It's what they do. They're good at it. They're really good at it. So
phenomenal.
Yeah. Next, talking about fucking shit.
I wish we would have went to Vegas.
Yeah, talking about fucking shit up. The Giants beat the Colts 33-45, and this is honestly, I don't know who fucked up more. The Giants for losing the number 1 draft pick, or the Colts for getting eliminated from the playoffs. It was a fuck up fest, I guess.
Dude, this game got the freaking Colts fan base to turn on Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
and it was fucking hilarious.
I saw the post.
Did you see his post?
Yeah, basically saying that the Colts are weak and unprofessional.
Yeah, and he was absolutely right.
Oh, dude, if the things that he said are true, like, I know for a fact that Anthony Richardson tapped out from a play. So I believe that automatically because I know it to be real. Yeah. But then allowing people to show up late and know... Honestly, Shane Steichen, I added him to the hot seat because of his freaking press conference and because of the Pat McAfee stuff. Pat McAfee is a fan. So he gave the fans perspective, and plus, he has, let's just say, inside connections. Shane,
he's been in the he knows people in the damn building.
I know. He played for the team. So when they said that, oh yeah, well, players showing up late to treatments and all that stuff, I was like, come on, that's an exaggeration. And then there's a clip of Shane Steichen, the head coach, going around saying like, well, you can't expect somebody to be on time all the time. It's like, dude, okay, so holy fuck, talk about a badly run organization. That man needs to be fired. I like him as a scheme guy. I think he's talented. I thought he was a good head coach. until you're finding out that all this shit's going down in the background, dude, it's your job. You're supposed to show up on time. You remember when Bill Belichick benched Butler, who won them a Super Bowl basically with an interception? He was like, nah, you're going on the bench. And then he didn't play on the next Super Bowl? Guess who was not...
It's about your principles.
It's about accountability. And the funny thing is that Shane Steichen said, yeah, there's accountability here. It's like, dude, what accountability? It's not on the field. Now Jonathan...
It's like Brandon Staley taking responsibility.
Oh, yeah, it's my fault, but the players didn't play. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I think the main point McAfee made that I agree is just winning teams. This doesn't happen in winning teams.
Of course not. Of course not.
Like, this sort of behind the scenes thing, these little things don't happen in winning organizations.
Yeah, those little things happening in the background being tolerated leads to your best player fumbling the ball on the goal line and getting it, bounce out of the end zone and losing a touchdown, and then losing the game that would have given you the tiebreaker with the Broncos, and you would have been in the playoffs. You lost. They lost to a team trying to tank.
The shit that they tolerated with Jonathan Taylor in the offseason, where he was basically talking shit about the team and saying he was wanting to leave, and then they just gave him money, and they was like, "Oh no, don't leave." Like, that's the inmates are running the asylum. You can tell.
I think we gave him the benefit of the doubt because it's the Colts. It's a well-run organization. Not anymore. Not anymore. There's the glory days are long and gone. But let me see this real quick. Chuck Dominguez, Peyton Manning got hired to be a mentor, or has to be hired to be a mentor for Bo Nix. So hopefully Bo Nix gets to pick his brain for a bit. It's not a bad thing to add Peyton Manning, there to try to break down the game for you, I guess. And seriously, why the fuck did the Raiders decide to win? They should have lost that game and been the #1 draft pick. Because the Raiders are stupid, man. Talk about a badly run organization. How many head coaches are they currently paying? They might pay another one come the end of the season. They're just fuck ups. They do stupid shit.
You know what I find funny? So, you know how on the playoff website, there's the percentages for, percentage chance that they're going to go into the playoffs or whatnot?
Uh-huh.
There's other like websites where it's like, what is the percentage chance that like the Patriots now are going to be the #1 draft pick? It's like, it should be 100%.
Yeah. If they're not stupid.
I think it was like 75% or something. And I was like, no, it's 100.
Yeah.
You do a safety at the beginning and you bench everybody.
Listen, that tells me that Gerard Mayo thinks that his job's on the line. He's on the hottest hot seat. Because if you know your job's safe for the next season, you're like, all right, we have the number one overall draft pick. We're going to use it for this. You start planning what to do with it, right? It's like, nobody can take it away from us. We're just start planning. Okay, cool. But if you're not sure you're going to keep your job next season, you're like, oh shit, I need a win. I need to close out with a win against a division rival. Because clearly my job's in trouble. Ironically, by winning, you make your situation worse. So if they would have lost against the Chargers the way they lost against the Bills, keeping it close, something, all right. But you got your asses handed to you against a team that most people would not consider to be one of the elites. So bad things going on in Foxborough, but let's continue. Let's move on to better things, and that's the Eagles just shellacking the Cowboys. Again, another team tanking, but not doing it the right way. They've done it really bizarrely, and Kenny Pickett won with a broken rib, I guess. So good on him. I mean, that when you get your shot, you take it. When you have your opportunity, you take it. So good on him.
So apparently the story here is they're thinking of benching Saquon next game.
No.
He's like 100 yards away.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. He's going to be benched. He's not playing.
All right.
No.
Apparently he's 100 yards away from breaking all-time record or something.
Yeah. I'm I mean, I don't know this.
Super Bowls are more important than records.
Listen, I don't know this for sure, but I can almost guarantee you that this was a Saquon Barkley decision. And I'm basing that solely on the fact that I saw a clip of the previous Giants game where I think Saquon had like 200 yards in the game already. And Sirianni was like, hey, you want me to keep you in so you can break the record for most rushing yards in a game against the team that just let you go? And Saquon was like, no, I'm okay. Let the younger guys play. Let them get experience. So it's like, okay. I mean, he's an unselfish player. That's the type of guy he is. So I'm going to assume that the same logic went to this one. And I'm assuming that they asked him, do you want the record? And he said no. Because, again, Super Bowls are more important.
Yeah. Honestly, he seems like a smart player. I think he's going to be like, all right, I would like to break the record, obviously, but
he wants the ring.
We got to be healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah. Again, it's unselfish of him, which is, that's really cool. Because he could have broken one record and another. So he could have broken two records against the Giants both times. But he's like, no, the team is more important. So good for him. That's like a great teammate to have. Sandman, I wish Eagles would have let Saquon play week 18. Of course, as fans, fans of the sport, we wish we could see it, but what can you do?
He still might. I don't know.
I don't think he'll do it. No, they've said he's not going to play. Next, we have another shellacking. The Buccaneers beating the ever-living crap out of the Panthers. So, I mean, the first time they played close. So this one was a bit of a surprise. But all right, it's not unexpected that the Bucs would beat the Panthers. It's just bizarre that they lost against the Cowboys the week before. But divisional games and all that. Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Titans for some reason. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Mac Jones?
Yeah, that's Mac Jones. Trevor Lawrence is out for the season.
I know, but he looks so old.
Well, he's wet. It was a rain game. It's one of those things like, dude, do you know you're supposed to be tanking? Like, what are you doing? I don't get it. But all right.
I think the general wisdom is that players don't tank because they're playing for jobs.
Yeah, as a head coach, you can still make sure they tank. You
can still make bad decisions so that you lose.
Yeah, sure. Let's say your team's, moving the ball down the field. You reach the 50-yard line. You're like, I'm going to kick a field goal. You're like, what? From the 50? Yeah. Yep. I want
break the all-time record.
I want my kicker to break the all-time record. F it. And so stuff like that. They could do it, but
Yeah, you can do it.
Next,
you're gonna lose the locker room, but at that point you're probably already gonna lose your job.
Yeah. We have the Miami Dolphins beating the ever-living crap out of the Browns. Again, a team that's tanking and a team that's desperately trying to win a playoff spot. Still alive, technically. Tua was benched for this one because he's injured. Not exactly sure what he has, but it looks like he's not going to be playing this week either. So I think Miami's cooked. Next.
Who's starting with them?
Huntley.
Ugh.
Yeah. Next, we have the Vikings surviving the Green Bay Packers. But I say surviving lightly because
not really. They were pretty dominant.
Yeah, they were in control most of the game, but the Packers made it interesting at the end. But holy crap, the Vikings are tied for first seed in the NFC, and I can't believe it.
And I'm still not talking about it.
Oh yeah. Let's move on. Next, finally, Monday Night Football, an overtime win by the Commanders, 24-30 against the Falcons. So, Michael Penix looked okay. Oh, by the way, the Commanders clinched the playoff spot with that one. But Michael Penix looked okay still. Raheem Morris, again, bad clock management. But Penix could have won the game, except his defense didn't help. So we will continue to go back to, if you did not spend $50 million this season on paying Kirk Cousins, you could have gotten a pretty good pass rusher. You could have paid a corner. You could have paid you could have gotten a better defensive player, free agent, but you didn't because you're stupid. The reason why right now you're on the outside looking in on the playoff conversation is because you're stupid. and you made the worst fucking decision when it comes to quarterback possible, unless you're the Browns. I think the Browns that's the worst fucking decision possible. But holy,
The Browns fucked the rest of the NFL.
yeah, definitely. So all the people who are saying, see, this proves that the Falcons did the right thing. No, this only cements that they fucked up big time, okay? The only thing that I might be able to give them here is that they got Kirk Cousins, immediately found out that he's washed up, and so they're like, oh shit, we need to get a rookie right now in the draft. Like, that might be the only thing, but still, you didn't work out the guy before you found him, before you signed him, and if you worked him out, you still gave him a no trade clause? The fuck are you doing? Also, you let him start for that long in the season? It's like,
What were they hoping? Like a kind of a Stafford situation where it's like, all right, maybe if we move into a better, situation here, better organization, we can finally. There's a hidden potential there.
dude, the
But
Falcons
the thing
are just
is they didn't go to a better organization.
dude. The Falcons
They
are
went
just
to the Falcons.
yeah, the Falcons are just a bunch of arrogant morons. Okay, I remember Raheem Morris saying in a press conference that like, hey, yeah, well, I have a big coaching staff because we're expecting people to be poaching stuff from coaches from us and all that stuff. So we want to make a player pipeline, all that stuff. Jim Harbaugh said the exact same thing. The problem is that one has the track record to prove it. That's the big difference here. And so now it looks like you had the playoffs. You were in there. And you fucked it up. Like Kirk Cousins against the Commanders, an ex-girlfriend game. He could have gotten you the victory. But now we'll never know. Because you fucked it up. You just fucked it up royally. You should have just gotten Gardner Minshew for a few $1 million, drafted Michael Penix, week 4, started Michael Penix because he was the oldest QB in the draft, the most NFL-ready QB in the draft, according to all these experts and stuff, and then seen what you had. Use the rest of the 40-something $million to get the best defensive players available. But you didn't, because you're fuck-ups. But anyway, let me see. Sandman.
God, I love the Falcons suffering.
Yeah. The last playoff spot in the AFC is between the Broncos, Bengals, and Dolphins. That is correct. David Martinez. What's up, Dario? What's up, David? How you doing? Still there. Cool. UPS driver. Dude, we know who you are. David. Yeah. Oh, wait. No, you're still at work right now? Brutal. But yeah, go Bolts. Let's fucking go. Playoff time, baby.
Or does it mean he's still here, like, he's still watching the shows? I don't know.
It could be all three. Who knows? But let's see. Sandman, this week's game between the Vikings and Lions should be good. Winner will be the number 1 seed, and loser will be the 5th seed. 14-3 5th seed is insane. Yes, it's insane.
Exciting.
And hysterical. Exciting. It's honestly, I'm pretty happy about it because our family does this little playoff thing. Basically, it's 14 of us, and you get a random assigned seat. So for example, I got the NFC 5 seed. So I'm getting the Lions or the Vikings. I'm happy about that. I'm not happy that it looks like we're going to go up against the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers, when they're hot, they're red hot, and they can beat anybody. But, I'm happy that at least I'm getting a team with a 14-3 record, Just saying.
I'm pretty happy that at the moment it seems like it's pretty much guaranteed I'm getting the Eagles.
That's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Next, final
and
game.
Then they start Saquon and he gets injured.
Yeah. Final game. We have the Lions just, surviving the 49ers. The 49ers finally decided to show up for a game, but it wasn't enough to beat the mighty Lions. Now, this is weird because, a lot of people are criticizing the Lions like, they didn't need to win this one. They could have just benched their starters and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, have you, if the Lions lost this game, it didn't matter. As long as they beat the Vikings, it was going to come down to them beating the Vikings on the final game of the season. That's it.
Right, because they could have tied and they have the tiebreaker.
Because they would have, they would have swept the Vikings. But have you met MCDC? Like this dude.
Tell that to MCDC to his face. He'll slap you silly.
This dude's mentality is we're gonna win. Hard. Go for it. There was no chance he was gonna bench his players. No, his mentality is like, no, we're gonna win, and we're gonna keep winning, and we're gonna win the bye week. That's what we're gonna do. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get an extra bye week because we're gonna do it by winning. So I mean, I'm not surprised. Was it the smartest decision? No. But then again, going for it on 4th down every single time is not the smartest decision either. But it's worked out for him. That's the way he built his team. That's the way his players are wired. It's working. Again,
The man eats kneecaps for breakfast.
yeah. So, good for them. Honestly, good for them. So, the current playoff picture, the way it looks is as follows. These are the teams that have clinched. In the AFC, 1 seed, you got the Chiefs. Nobody's taking that away from them. The Bills, number 2 seed at 13-3. Nobody's taking that away from them. The Ravens are still fighting against the Steelers to see who wins the AFC North. They're the current 3 seed at 11-5. The Texans, they're in the 4th seed. Nobody's moving them from there. The Steelers, again, they're fighting against the Ravens to see who takes who wins the AFC North. And the Steelers are fighting against the Chargers to see who's going to be the 5 seed. So Chargers and Steelers both tied at 10-6. That's the AFC. The NFC, you got the Lions number 1 at 14-2. Eagles at which, and again, the Lions are competing against the Vikings for A, the AFC North, B, the number 1 seed, or the 5 seed, which is nuts. Mm-hmm. The Eagles, they're cemented at number 2, 13-3. Rams, it could go either way, but it looks like they're going to be stuck at the 3 seed at 10-6. The 4th seed still hasn't been decided because if the Buccaneers win, they're in. If the Buccaneers lose and the Falcons win, they're in. But I think... Yeah, I think actually the Buccaneers have the easier game. Next, you have the Commanders, the Vikings as either the 5 seed or the 1 seed, again, tied with the Lions at 14-2. Commanders at 6 at 11-5, and Packers at 11-5. So the Commanders and the Packers still have something to fight for, which is basically who goes to Los Angeles and who goes to Philadelphia. That's pretty much it, right?
Yes.
On
and
the
also, just real quick, Sandman is asking any update on David Montgomery. Is he out for the season?
It looks like he might.
It looks like he'll be able to come back by the divisional round. So that's another thing that'll be very important for the Lions to get that one seed.
Yeah, if they get a bye week, the Lions are gonna get a bunch of players back. But let's continue. In the hunt currently, right now, as the 7 seed for the AFC, you got the Broncos at 9-7. On the outside looking in, you got the Dolphins at 8-8 and the Bengals at 8-8. So, basically, the Dolphins and the Bengals need the Broncos to lose, and they need to win, and the Bengals actually need the Dolphins to lose and them to win. So, the Bengals currently have the tiebreaker against the Broncos. I'm not sure how the tiebreakers work with the Dolphins, but I'm assuming they have the tiebreakers with the Bengals and the Broncos. So,
Dolphins have a better conference record.
Oh, there you go. So, Broncos winning in. Dolphins need the Broncos to lose and them to win. And the Bengals need Broncos to lose, Dolphins to lose, and them to win. So Saturday, we're going to find that out pretty quickly. On the NFC side, we have the Buccaneers at 9-7 and the Falcons at 8-8. Buccaneers winning in. Falcons, if Buccaneers lose and they win, they'll take the NFC South. So there you go. Let's go very quickly to check the hot seat, the coaching hot seat. So there's 3 teams currently who have fired their coaches in the middle of the season. That's the Bears, the Saints, and the Jets. Out of all 3, I think, honestly, probably the most attractive spot. What?
Vegas?
Out of these 3?
I don't know. I don't want to go
Vegas
to the
isn't
Jets
here.
and
Like, no. Out of these
Chicago.
3, probably the most attractive one would be the Saints, because it's the least fucked up organization.
You know what? I thought I was looking at the Raiders.
No. That's Derek Carr with the Saints. So it's probably the less fucked up organization. The Bears probably has the most talent, but the organization's really fucked up. And the Jets, I don't even need to explain it, right? It looks like Aaron Rodgers and Devontae might not even be there. So yeah, mess. So coaches
did Aaron waste his last couple of years in the NFL on the fucking Jets?
Because arrogance. Anyway, coaches.
He thought he was gonna be the difference.
Yeah, coaches that I think are. You know what? He's gonna go to the Vikings next year. He's just gonna continue the same freaking Brett Favre route. So leave the Packers, go to the Jets, and then go to Minnesota. That's what he's gonna do.
He's in the Brett Favre speed run.
Yeah. So coaches that I think on the hot seat: Giants Brian Dable. Patriots Gerard Mayo, Jaguars Doug Peterson, Raiders Antonio Pierce, Bengals, Zach Taylor, Colts, Shane Steichen, and Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. So how do I think this is going to go? I think Doug is for sure out. I think Brian Dable will probably save his job somehow. Gerard should be fired, but I don't think he will be fired because, again, this is the dude who was not only handpicked by the Crafts, the dude was supposedly groomed for this position. He had it in his contract for years that he was going to be the next guy, and it would be the wrong decision. It would be the worst fucking decision possible because dude clearly has no idea what the fuck he's doing. There's stories about how he hired people that are weird that I don't want to get into, but it's just bizarre. He's a defensive coordinator. That's his experience. The defense got worse, and it's the same guys, and it's the same system. So the fan base wants Mike Bravel, and this is probably your only chance to get Mike Bravel, right? Mike Bravel, a dude with a proven track record of success, former Patriot. So I think that the hottest coach right now is Mike Bravel, just because he's way younger than Pete Carroll and then Bill Belichick. So
and Belichick's already in college.
I know they can just pay a bunch of money to the college and they can still get him. So that's not the biggest obstacle here. So if I'm the Patriots,
but honestly, I'm not actually that surprised that Bill decided to go for a college gig.
Sure, I get it. It's like it's one of those things like, dude, you don't want me? Cool, I'll just go somewhere else. Like, I can't be out of football 2 seasons. He just can't.
Not in his DNA.
Yeah. So yeah, if I'm the Patriots, I would fire him, and because again, it's looked horrendous up in New England. So Mike Bravel, one chance, one opportunity.
But he's their first black coach.
Yeah, and they put themselves in this fucked up situation. So they hired a guy who wasn't ready. So there you go. And also, like I said, the very first press conference, he made his boss sound like a racist. He's just been making bad decisions from day one. So anyway, Antonio Pierce, don't fire him. Keep him. He's doing good. He's okay. I think he should stay with the Raiders. What they're doing there is clearly working. Just, trust the process.
They just won.
Yeah. Zach Taylor. I know it's hard.
Depends if they make the playoffs.
No, even if they make the playoffs, they should fire him. I
think he survives.
I like the guy. I don't think he's a good head coach. I think the reason why he's had success is because he has Joe fucking Burrow. Like the anchor around Joe Burrow's neck is the defense and this head coach. And I like the guy.
The Sean McDermott effect.
Yeah, but this dude's not a head coach. He's maybe a coordinator, but he's not a head coach. He's just been lucky that he got Joe fucking Burrow. So maybe it's a good thing because it's the anchor around Joe Burrow's neck that keeps the Bengals from being, a powerhouse. But yeah, I would fire him. Shane Steichen, fire him. There's a culture rot in the Colts organization. It starts from the top, but you can't fire the owner. So get rid of the GM, get rid of the head coach. Cowboys.
Honestly, if I'm Jim Irsay, that's the Colts. Jim Irsay?
I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing a lot of money to Mike Bravel because I think he's the only one who can actually build a culture.
Sure.
It's either that or Pete Carroll.
Again, Mike Bravel is probably the most attractive option right now, other than probably Deion Sanders, because, he's been successful in college and, prime time and all that stuff. So it's because he's young. Because Pete Carroll might be a better head coach because, he has the ring to prove it. And he's a culture builder as well. But
he is old.
You could have Bravel there for 20 years,
Yeah.
So finally, Mike McCarthy. I think the dude might have done enough to save his job, but again, he should also be fired. Because
should have been fired last season. Yeah.
Bad clock management. The most important thing a head coach does, and he's bad at it. So anyway, let's see real quick. Lions all the way. Chuck, yes. David Martinez, we need Steelers to lose. Amen. Chiefs aren't playing any of their starters. Broncos should win. We'll get to that one because that one's actually an interesting breakdown. Let me see. Chuck Dominguez, really not Raiders. Haha. Is not New York Jets, is now New York Rogers. Lol. he might not be. I don't think he'll come back. Let me see. This will probably be Aaron Rodgers' last game. I don't think it'll be his last game, but I think it's his last game as a Jet for sure. I don't think he wants to come back. Sandman, I don't think Rodgers plays an NFL game again past Sunday. I doubt it. See, there's too many teams that need a quarterback, and there's not that many quarterbacks in the draft. So if I'm the Colts, if I'm the Raiders, if
I'm
I'm
actually thinking Raiders.
what? Yeah,
Devontae going back to the Raiders? That's funny.
I don't think so. But yeah, if I'm the Giants, teams that are probably don't have a shot at getting a number one, like one of the two good QBs this draft, I'd take a risk on Rodgers. Sure. But you got to keep him in line. That's the thing. Let me see. Bill's girlfriend just out of college, Eric. LMAO. What? Oh,
Well, that's why he's going to college?
his girlfriend. Well, she's no longer in college though.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, what's the point?
I don't know. Find the replacement or whatever. David Martinez, best case scenario, we get the 5 seed and play the hapless Texans, then beat the Chiefs, whose luck was hopefully run out, and the Ravens and the Bills beat each other to death, and we get what's left. Yeah, to me, I'd prefer playing the Chiefs over the Bills or the Ravens. It's a better matchup.
Oh, yeah.
And I've explained this many times. I'll explain it one more again. You build your team, you draft your team, you get your free agents, planning to beat your division rivals first. You design your team to beat your division rivals first, to make the best matchup possible against your divisional rivals. So the Chargers built their teams planning on the toughest team of their division, the Chiefs. Now the issue's been elsewhere before, but it's usually not been talent. Actually, this season's talent. The other seasons, it hasn't really been the talent that's the issue. But anyway, let's continue. Sandman, Jets interviewed Ron Rivera today. Dude. Go ahead. Hire Ron Rivera. Sure.
Sure.
I mean, we saw the Commanders last season, and we saw them this season. So, yeah, sure. Good on him. Good on them. Let's make
They also switched owner, to be fair.
All right, let's make our final predictions for the 2024 NFL season, Week 18. So, by the way, I need to get this thing out of the way. Let's go through the points real quick. Let me just see. I'm going to move this here so I can see it. All right, so the way things currently stand on my Pick'em League is on first place, we have yours truly with 177 points, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Second place, tied for...
Keep in mind, this only changed after he curated these results
in
darkness.
You know what?
We all slept.
You know
this
what?
Reminds me of something.
Listen, you know what the beauty of this is? Everybody can track my picks on the website. And you know what
Who watches the website? And
you know what the extra beauty of this is? Everybody can check my picks on the podcast. It's recorded.
Somebody go back to every single
right
podcast,
there.
Please.
Sure.
Watch them all.
Go ahead.
Want a playlist?
Watch them.
And verify everything.
I actually, there is, I found one thing that I did fuck up with the numbers wise. And so I fixed it. It was a big mess. Honestly, doing all the numbers, I'm never doing this again, by the way. For next season, it's all going to be on the website. That's it. It's all on the Pick'em website, because trying to make the numbers match is a pain in the ass. And I still need to make other numbers match, because I have texts from friends who are like, oh, dude, I forgot to put this in, but here are my picks. The game's already started, but it's only been like a minute. Here you go. And I was like, fine, never again. It was a major.
They already scored a field goal, but okay.
It's a major pain in the ass. So never again. However, let me just clarify. There was kind of a controversy of points. So just to explain this specifically to Gus, because Gus is tied for second place with Eric at 172. So I'm 173. So I'm at first place at 177. Eric and Gus are tied at 173 because I gave Eric an extra point for beating me in points total in fantasy football.
I earned an extra point.
Third place is David with 167 right now, and then my buddy Roro with 152, but I think I'm missing points from him. Point is, whatever, I'm in first place. So let me just clarify this real quick, just so that everybody can see it. I'm going to put it right here on the screen. So there was a discrepancy in the numbers for week, I believe it was week 4, and that's why there's a discrepancy in the numbers on the website. And let me just show you real quick. So the website in week 4 says that I won 6 points, which didn't sound right. I mean, I don't know shit about fuck, but I know a little bit about fuck. And so week 4 was weird. And then I went into it. So for me, it said 6 points. And for the random one, which is God, it said 10 points. So I went to our list of, I went to the video and then I checked, all the stuff that we have. And on week 4, if you check here, I actually flipped the random one and mine. So basically, on the website, I put my picks as the random one as my pick. It had my pick. So sorry, it was the first time using the website. I fucked it up like an idiot. I fucked it up. But that's the discrepancy in the numbers. Again, you can go in and check it. Go in and check it. Go into the podcast. Check every single one of my picks. It'll add up. It'll add up. This has always been up and up on. It's been as transparent as possible. But there you go. Currently sitting in first place, comfortably in first place. So there you go.
Cut the count.
Cut the count. So let's get into our predictions for Week 18. Saturday, early game. 1:30, we got the Browns visiting the Ravens. The Ravens, if they win, they clinch the AFC North. The Browns have nothing to play for, really. By the way, Eric, are you going to write these down?
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah, you probably should. So, yeah. One team has nothing to play for. The other one actually has something to play for and is one of the best teams in the NFL. I think their bench could beat the Browns. So, give me the Ravens. Eric, who do you like?
I'm going purple on this, probably.
Okay.
Let's see. Browns or Ravens. I got to go crazy on some of these picks. So
I know. That's your
this is
problem.
not one. I'm going Ravens.
Okay. God picked home, so he gets the Ravens as well. Next, probably the most important game. Well, one of the 5 most important games of the weekend, but this one is the one that's going to get it started. You have the Steelers hosting the Cincinnati Bengals at 5 p.m. on Saturday. So, if the Bengals beat the Steelers, they're still alive for the playoffs. They could still make it into the dance if the Broncos and the Dolphins lose. On the other side of the table, the Steelers, if the Ravens lose and they win, they will win the AFC North. However, if the Ravens win and the Steelers win, they get the 5 seed. However, if the Ravens lose and they lose, it doesn't matter what the Ravens do. If they lose, they could drop to the 6th seed. So the Steelers, even if the Ravens win, still have something to play for, which is, again, there's a big difference between the 5 seed and the 6 seed. So they've had a longer week of rest. Last time they played was on Christmas. Ah, man. The Bengals had a shorter week. Who do I like?
Sandman, correction, because he's saying Browns are like minus 18 underdogs. No, they are minus 20.
Oh.
Or, they're plus 20.
Oh, there you go. Oh, man. I just don't trust the Steelers. And I'm going to go for the better storyline, which is the Bengals keep things interesting for Sunday. So the Bengals winning makes the Chargers game interesting, makes the Dolphins and the Broncos game more interesting. So give me the Bengals.
All right, this is one of the safer wild picks, so I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'm like 4 points behind, so I got to make at least 4 crazy picks.
Yep. God picked home. So, Sunday games. First one, we got the Panthers visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Eric, who do you like?
Well, that's the wrong question. Who do I think is going to win?
Sure.
I think the Falcons are going to win.
Really? Why?
Honestly, Penix has not been looking bad, and they can still technically win their division if the Buccaneers fuck it up. So they actually have something to play for. So yeah, Falcons.
Listen, the Panthers haven't been looking terrible the last few weeks, but
You want to pick them?
no, I agree. It's the Falcons are overall a better team. They are at home, so I'm gonna pick the Falcons as well. Got picked home. Next, we have the Commanders visiting the Cowboys. And by the way, I should have fixed this because CD Lamb ain't playing. So the Cowboys should be tanking. They don't have CD Lamb. The Commanders have something to play for. Give me the Commanders.
Easy Commanders pick for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Sandman. I read somewhere that when the Browns went 0-16, they were never more than 13.5 underdogs. Oof.
Eesh.
That's brutal. Next, we have the Bears visiting the Packers. What? Oh, sorry. Got picked away. Eric, you got the Bears visiting the Packers. Who do you like?
Bears have nothing, and Packers. They benefit from a win
Yeah.
if the Commanders lose.
Yep.
Yeah, so Packers.
Yep, I agree. The Bears are just collapsing. They've been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So yeah, at least and the Packers looked bad the last. I mean, they lost against two divisional rivals in the last few weeks. So I think they need to gain a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs. So give me the Packers.
Yep, agreed.
Next, we have the Texans.
God.
Oh yeah, right. Got picked home. Next, we have the Texans visiting the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are figuring out that they need a tank. They've been doing it okay. The Texans have nothing to play for, but I saw an interview with the head coach. I forget his name right now. D something, whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah, I forget the head coach. I actually like the guy, and he's like, "No, we need to get our act together." So I'm sure he's gonna send them in there. They had a mini bye week. So they're going to show up hungry. They're going to try to wash the bad taste out of their mouths and try to get something going as they head into the playoffs. So I'm pretty sure one team's going to be motivated to win and the other one's not. So give me the Texans.
Do they get anything out of winning?
Nothing. Other than
Do they get
momentum.
anything out of losing?
Nothing. Other than momentum. Losing even more momentum.
I'll go for the Titans.
Making a move. All right. Fair enough.
It's last week.
Sandman really hopes the Bears win. Bears defense has looked horrible since Eberflus left. Yeah, the Bears are cooked. And honestly, they should tank. Why not? Next on probably oh shit. Got picked away. Probably one of the hardest games to pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars going to the Loud House, visiting the Colts.
I don't think it'll be that loud.
No. Oh, you go first. Huh. Or do I? No, you go first.
I picked the Titans first.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Jaguars. I'd say they were tanking, but they beat the Titans last week, and they always seem to beat the Colts. On the other hand, the Colts, they got called out by Pat McAfee. The one thing they should not do is lose against the Jaguars at home to close the season. So I think there's people in that building not only playing for pride and their jobs. I think that they're playing, with a little bit extra motivation to prove that they're actually professionals in a good organization or whatever crap they think they can prove by beating the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars. So give me the Colts, I guess.
I think I'm going to go for the Colts as well, although I don't actually... It's either going to be they win or they lose really badly.
Yeah, because the Jaguars beat them for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they either get proven to be frauds or they pretend not to be frauds by winning against a shitty team.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills visiting God picked home. Thank you for letting me.
Off.
Yeah, sorry. Buffalo Bills visiting the New England Patriots. Like we said, the New England Patriots are dumpster fire. However, they did play the Buffalo Bills close, and the Buffalo Bills have nothing to play for. In fact, Josh Allen should probably be benched. He should not play. But apparently it's important to him to keep the starts record or something. Also, he's in the conversation for MVP. So, listen, who knows what they're thinking, but it looks like at least he's going to play a drive. The Buffalo Bills should win, or more like the Patriots should lose. They should lose. However, like I said, Gerard Mayo is in the hot seat, and so I think he feels like he needs to save his job by beating it'd be like, oh yeah, well, we beat the Bills at the end of the season in a game that Josh Allen actually started. If you're the Crafts, you tell him fucking tank. Right now we got the number 1 pick, and we can sell that for gold. So
you going for the Bills?
I'm going for the Bills.
I'm going for the Bills too.
Yep. Say didn't forget. Got. Picked away. Next, you have the New Jersey Giants visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, Philadelphia Eagles have announced that they will be benching their starters. The Giants didn't care about the number 1 pick, even though they're missing QB. Like, I don't fucking know, man. The Giants should lose. They should. But they did also drop 40 on the Colts. I don't know.
They lost the first round draft pick, so fuck it.
No, not the first round. The first overall. Because they still have the first rounder.
Yeah, okay.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. So I'm going to go with the better organization at home winning this one. So give me the Eagles.
Who's the backup for the Eagles?
Kenny Pickett, who beat the Cowboys. But again, he beat him with Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown.
I'll take the Giants.
It's not crazy.
No, just because of their Eagles don't fucking care about this game.
Oh yeah, not at all. So next, you have the home. God picked home. Next, we have the Saints visiting the Buccaneers. The Saints, they've been tanking. They've been tanking good. The Bucs,
good job,
have something to play for. They need to win, and they got a playoff seed. So give me the Baker Buccaneers.
Easy Bucks pick. What is God?
God picked away. Next, on the game that Chuck cares about the most, the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Denver Broncos. So there's many things that people need to consider here. I know the Chiefs, they're going to bench their starters. However, things to consider. Chiefs haven't played a game since Christmas, so they got a mini bye week. So I'm assuming that Andy Reid got their backups playing for a few days. So they've been practicing. They've been out there. They knew who they were playing, and they knew they were starting the moment that they wrapped up the 1 seed. So backups should be ready to go. Second,
also not terrible backups.
Yes. Super Bowl winning backups. Next,
well,
their QB is a man named Carson Wentz, who is a Super Bowl winner technically, and the most exciting with the Eagles.
All right, he didn't play, but yeah.
But he has a ring, and he was named by us the most exciting man to watch in the NFL because you never knew which play was going to be his last. The issue has never been Carson Wentz's talent. It's always been he's brittle. So that's a more than capable backup you're going up against. They had time to prepare. They had time to rest. And they are not losers. They do not have a losing mentality over there. They don't have a losing culture. They have a culture that revolves around winning. So they're not going to just come here and lay down. They're just going to go to Denver and lay down. So,
again, these are players playing for jobs, and they're on a team that's been winning Super Bowls like fucking crazy. So you kind of want to be a starter on that.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs on this one, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to give you the Broncos.
I guess I'm not picking the Chiefs anymore.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not,
fuck it, I'll take the Broncos. I was honestly just gonna pick any the one opposite to you.
I know. So I was like, nah, I've played this game too many times that the Chiefs just do this to me. So it's if I'm the Jinx,
What if the secret is you should have been picking him all along?
I don't know, then I'll hit myself with a mallet. But listen, Chuck, I wish the Broncos would get in. Honestly. For you. And for my buddy Otto, who's also a fan.
Sure.
I don't see it working out that way. The reason why I don't see it working out is because I don't think the NFL wants it. And you're up against the Chiefs who have the refs on their side. So it's just all working out in a way that it looks like it's going to be the Bengals coming in. However, the NFL doesn't really like the Bengals either. I think they just really want Joe Burrow in there. So we'll see how it goes.
We got this, Chuck.
Let me see. Sandman, does McConkey have more receptions and yards than Neighbors? I believe so, yes. I guess we can do that. Eric, can you look that up real quick while we do this?
Yeah. Let's try finishing up these relatively soon because I do work early tomorrow.
All right, cool. So Chuck does think that he does want the Broncos to win, but he thinks it's wishful thinking. Did I already give you the God pick?
No, of course not.
Okay. God win with the Broncos. There you go. Next, you got the Chargers visiting the Raiders, and this one's really difficult because depending on what happens on the Steelers game, the Chargers might bench all their starters. So I don't think that'll happen. I think the Steelers will lose, and so I think the Chargers will have something to play for. And again, very similar to MCDC. Win, 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 win. And the Raiders should tank, so give me the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers because I'm not taking the filthy Raiders.
Nah, disgusting. God picked home. Sorry. Next, Seahawks against the Rams. The Rams are going to be benching Matthew Stafford. They barely beat him last time. Give me the Seahawks.
Oh, let me think.
I can give you more things to think about.
No, I'll do the Seahawks.
Yeah, fair enough. God picked home. Next, you got the Miami Dolphins visiting the New Jersey Jets. Aaron Rodgers needs one more touchdown, I believe, to reach the 500 club. I think he's going to score that touchdown and then not give a fuck. I think he's going to be like, whatever. However, the Dolphins don't have their starting QB. I believe it's confirmed. Well, it's not confirmed, but McDaniel said that he's planning on Tua not playing. On paper, they have the better team. However, I'll throw you a bone here. I'll pick the Jets.
I was gonna go for the Jets.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I think it's an ego thing for Rodgers to at least win his last one with the Jets.
Listen, to me, here's the thing. It's December in New York, man. Dolphins can't play in the cold, and it's still gonna be a little bit cold. So that's the one thing. Now it's indoors, but still.
All right, I'll take the Dolphins just because they gotta win.
You need to make a move.
It's actually very close.
Yeah. God picked home. Next, you have the 49ers visiting the Arizona Cardinals. Brock Purdy got injured against the Lions. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play. The Cardinals, I think the Cardinals have more to play for than the 49ers because, again, Shanahan's not worried about his job. Right? They're not going to be firing him anytime soon. One bad season is not the end of the world for them. He's proven that he's good enough. He's gotten them to 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
2 Super Bowls.
Can't win them, but
Yeah. 2 or 3. He's gotten them to Super Bowls.
2.
Yeah. On the other hand, the
'Cause
Cardinals.
The other one was Harbaugh.
Yeah. On the other hand, the Cardinals, they fire their head coaches a lot. And so Gannon needs to at least get a winning record on this one, even if they don't. Actually, does he get to 8-9? I don't know. Point is, Cardinals probably a little bit more desperate. So I'm going to pick also, they're at home, so I'm going to pick the Cardinals.
Well, actually, them being at home is a disadvantage. How many moves have I made? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll stick with the Cards. Yeah.
Smart. Actually, no. This one, I mean, because the 49ers are a good team. Got picked home. Finally, the final game of the 2024 season is a doozy. The Minnesota Vikings.
Epic.
The 14-2 Minnesota Vikings visiting the 14-2 Detroit Lions. The winner takes the number 1 seed in the NFC. The winner wins the AFC North. The loser drops all the way to the 5th seed, losing home field advantage and the bye week for the playoffs. Everything to win, everything to lose. I will go first.
Glory goes to the winner.
I will go first. I'm going to pick the Lions. Let me tell you why. They're at home. That's it. I think these teams are both equally talented. I think that the Lions defense is a problem for sure, but they're at home. Their offense is nigh unstoppable. So as long as they keep control of the ball and keep control of the clock, I think they'll be able to milk it enough to win. I think it means more to them. And I had the Lions going to the Super Bowl from the beginning of the season, so I'm sticking with the Lions, ride or fucking die. Even though it'd be better for me for them to lose, because that way I'd get them in the playoffs. But, you know, what can you do?
Yeah.
And check the Ming as well.
If
If
they're
they're
make a move.
Yeah. Check the Ming as well. If they're smart, the Raiders should just give up and lose. But then again, Raiders are stupid. Yeah, they're stupid. That's the problem. So listen. This is the one to make a move in. It's the one that's closest to a
Literally,
coin top.
they have the same record.
Yep. And one's all banged up.
I think I'm finally ready to talk about the Minnesota Vikings.
And the potential MVP, Sam Darnold, who nobody talks about.
No, it's going to be Josh Allen. It's going to be Josh Allen.
He's not even in the conversation, man, but he should be. He's having a really good season. But, you know.
Because no one's talking about him.
Of course. So let's see. Coin toss. Got picked home. So there you go. Those are our picks for the final week of the NFL season. I'm nervous, man. You took a lot of risks there. Most of them are an advantage to me. However, it's the final week of the NFL, man. It's the hardest one to predict. Well, I guess the first couple of ones were hard, but this one, you just don't know. You don't know who's going to show up to play for their jobs. You don't know who's going to be tanking. You don't know how much benching players is going to affect. So, should be interesting. Is there anything
also,
I missed?
Malik Neighbors does have more yards than Lad McConkey.
Really? How many?
Yeah, like 90.
Okay, so the game that McConkey missed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, good for him, I guess. Who has more touchdowns? Who has more wins? Scoreboard.
TDs.
Scoreboard, baby.
TDs is McConkey.
Yes. And wins.
Wins?
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I mean, one is in the Giants, right?
Yeah, exactly. As always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at DariusDW and at Super Dario World. Thank you for joining us and all that good stuff. We appreciate it. It's been a hell of a season. It's been fun. I guess there's no Monday Night Football, so we might be able to record earlier on Monday.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, behind the scenes. But hope you guys had a great Christmas. Hope you guys had a great New Year. Hope that everything you want for is achievable in 2025. I've been considering doing the best geek movies of 2024. However, I've realized that I haven't watched most of them, so it's gonna take me a minute. Most of them are really bad, but I'll try it. I'll do my best. We'll see as the season progresses, as the NFL season ends, and I'll have more time. But we'll see. As always, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Happy New Year.